Absolutely.
Okay.
Cool. I'm going to call this meeting to order of the Norwich Tennis Committee, October 18th. First part is, we have any citizens' comments or anybody else logging in, listening to this? Does anybody know of any citizens' comments or requests or
Just,
the past
I
month?
got a call 2 days ago asking about the status of the tennis courts and if we were putting on pickleball and where could they play pickleball. That was it for me in the last week or two.
Okay.
And what do you tell them about pickleball?
It's got a bad name.
I said, we currently do not have any locations to play pickleball.
Do we have any?
No.
The stand signs appear to be gone the last time I checked. Someone was trucking them in at Stanton. I didn't see them about a week or two ago, but maybe they're back. Anyone else?
They're not back. Well, at least when I went up there the other day, they're not back.
Yeah, okay.
Should we think about like lining the Stanton, one of the Stanton courts for pickleball so we don't have to do it for the new ones being built?
We'll talk about that shortly.
Okay.
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 And I hope you all had a chance to review the old business, the old minutes. Everyone have a chance to look at that?
Yes.
Would someone like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
I
I'll second.
approve those.
You can't second it until somebody.
I approve.
Okay,
Okay, we're good.
all right, we're good. All in favor of those minutes, the old business minutes for last meeting, say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All opposed? Nay. Okay, so no negatives. The minutes will be approved as written up by Martha. Thank you again, Martha, for that.
You're welcome.
All right, so now we have the new business. We got the fundraising, which I'm not sure has changed a whole lot since the last meeting. I'm assuming, Cheryl, probably not too many donations have been made.
No, we stand, I believe, the same as last time. It's $14,367 in fundraising.
Okay.
I didn't see anything.
No, I
Pardon me.
what was that? All right. So what about the budget update as far as last time? No other monies have been designated for our project, I assume.
Correct.
Cheryl and I met with the individual with Ryan, I don't know Ryan's last name, from Classic Turf to take a look at the tennis courts. We asked him to give us a new bid based on the fact that we probably think that the cost may be higher than what the original bid was. Secondary to some of the COVID costs and asphalt costs. I'm sorry, concrete costs, not asphalt costs. And he was supposed to get that to us by Friday, but he didn't do that. My understanding, would you tell me, Cheryl, he would have it at the end of the week?
When I spoke with him today, he said the end of the week.
Okay.
So remind me, we have to put it out to bid or we don't, or what's the story there?
Gonna defer that to Cheryl one more time.
We can use, oh, hold on. There's a cooperative purchasing agreement where the vendors on that agreement have already won state bids.
Okay.
So we're exploring that route.
Okay.
With going that way. So I'm still learning about it and the purchasing agent is interested in doing that. So without too much detail about it, as I'm
Yeah.
learning, I'll more.
Okay.
But does that mean that we still have to use someone else or get another bid from someone else or not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Take this from Ryan and present it to the purchasing agent.
I got you. I got you. Okay.
Then he does his thing, checking that the company's on these bid lists, that it's the lowest price. That's how I think it works.
Make this off the record, but is Hinding on that list? Hinding Tennis?
I don't believe for post-tension concrete.
Okay, all right. Should we put in the minutes that so far we are most happy with the bidding process and work that has been done at other sites by Classic Turf?
Sure.
You should.
Hold on, I'm trying to let Roy in. Okay, Roy's coming in.
Good.
So that's where we're at with that.
Okay, we should probably let Roy know that. Just, that's kind of important.
So,
Hey, Roy.
Hello.
You didn't miss too much. We were just talking about some of the bidding process that we have sort of been looking at, and the company that we're thinking about, or hopefully we think we're going to use. He's part of the cooperative purchasing program. They're known as Classic Turf. It's the same people who gave the bid way back when to, I think, to NFA
Yeah.
and the city. And so far, we're pretty happy with the work they've done and their past history with other using those with other courts, and the work that they've done for other people. So we're not certain we're going to go with them, but it's a strong possibility at this point.
Okay.
We were supposed to give us another bid, which we were supposed to have on Friday, but apparently that's going to be at the end of the week.
Okay.
That's pretty much where we're at. That's about the only real thing for the Mohegan courts that what we've progressed to, as far as I know. Cheryl, anything else that I'm not familiar with?
no, I mean, I think under action items, maybe I'll talk about a few other things.
Okay.
Were we going to update the thermometer with the money we're getting for the COVID?
Well, that, under action items, I was gonna
Okay.
go through that,
Okay,
because it was on the agenda last time as an action item, so, but if, whatever Fred wants to do.
okay.
The other thing, well, I guess we can talk, since we're talking about the bidding process. Ryan from Classic Turf did happen to mention about the pickleball lines, and do we want pickleball lines on all the courts? And my thought was, since this is a city project, I would prefer not to, personally would prefer not to have any pickleball lines, but I think we would probably have to have at least 2 of the courts with pickleball lines on them, because you're going to have to appease the general public. And right now pickleball is a pretty big thing. And I think we might hear it significantly from some of the local populace if we don't do something in that regard. I'm not sure we have to do all the courts that way. And there are a couple different ways it can be done. That's something to be looked at down the road. I can't remember if he was going to do that with the bid or not. I think he was, but I'm not certain of that.
Wasn't there concern of folks drawing or marking them on the court anyway if we didn't have them? Didn't we discuss that before?
Yeah, we did discuss it. That would happen last year, that people, right after we had the Stanton courts painted, some lady was putting nail polish down instead of chalk.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but fortunately, they took care of that, and I put a sign up, which again is, I have to do it for a third time, because it's gotten faded because of the weather, but I asked them to use only chalk. But as much as trying to be a tennis purist, I would prefer not to have pickleball lines. I think that's probably the right thing to do, at least for 2 of the courts.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that all 4 don't have to be done.
Okay.
You guys have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I don't like them on the courts, but I appreciate that we have to do it. And I noticed that, there's just so many more of them that if you're playing, they show up, and it's a very different game. And it's a little bit
Uh,
distracting and stuff, but
I agree. I
Mhm.
agree. The lines, if you had to play on a tennis court with pickleball lines, I'm sure it'd be exceptionally distracting, but
yeah, it
this is
is.
a public project with public funds and
Yep.
I'm thinking we're gonna
Do
have to.
do other public courts have them on them?
Yeah, I know what Waterford does. The ones down at Waterford, down at Harkness do.
I wouldn't
Really?
like to see all of them done, though. I would like one left for people who want to play tennis.
Oh, I wouldn't do any more than two at the most. If
Yeah.
we can get, I think we should be able to get by with that. While we're on that topic, I know that originally the USTA, in order to get the grant, you had to put pickleball lines on all the courts.
Mm.
And now I'm going to let Cheryl tell us the bad news.
The bad news, USTA is not offering that grant any longer.
Oh,
It sounds like they didn't do so well through COVID, and they just don't have the funding to give out grants for facilities any longer. So I called them and emailed back that they have pulled all funding for grants. So we missed it. So that's a bummer, but
mhm.
had that program for years, so I don't think we saw it coming.
Yeah.
We didn't see a lot of this coming.
Not good. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that as far as the Mohegan courts go, we're still in a bit of state of flux until we get a bid, and then we can have that bid potentially accepted by the purchasing agent for the city.
Could we just designate the Stanton courts as pickleball courts? Just make them pickleball courts and
I would love to do that, Paul. I don't think I just don't think that's right. Again, Cheryl, you've gotten a number of calls, have you not? About
We get-
pickleball?
We get them often, but I would entertain that, Paul, maybe making and tennis and pickleball, have the lines for both only over there.
yeah,
No,
it's an
I'm-
idea.
I'm not against it personally. I just wonder what kind of flack you're gonna wind up getting.
But if you have people drawing them on the new courts, that might be even more of an issue. Just
Yeah.
thinking out
Yeah.
loud. You know,
They seem to like to come a whole bunch at a time and then take over all the courts. That's what
That's
I,
not gonna happen. That should be, if you only get two. Now, the other
Right.
part about that, as my understanding is you might be able to put two courts or one court on one side of the tennis net and one court on the other side of the tennis net. But then the people have to bring their own net.
right.
Otherwise, they use the tennis net.
Yep.
Well, there could be a conflict with people who are serious about playing tennis and show up to play tennis, and people who are playing pickleball. And all four courts are being taken, and if you have to wait to play
No.
tennis on the tennis court, that could be an issue. Or people show up to play pickleball and two pickleball courts are taken, then do they go to the other courts and start drawing lines? So it could be a little bit of an issue
Yeah.
there.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't.
So we'll move, I guess, to our past action items. I have made contact with Pro Paving and Painters and Sealing. And I won't go into the specifics, except that the first two phone calls I had, I was hung up on by the guy. And I sent him a letter. Don't put this in the minutes, Martha, if you can help it. I sent him a letter kind of chiding his behavior, and he called me on Friday and said he apologized. And he had the materials in his basement at his house. And if I wanted to come up and get them, which I'm going to try to do tomorrow, he would basically instruct me what to do and give the tools, and we go from there. I'm still a little hesitant about the whole thing, but I'm more than willing to give the guy a second chance. I guess he was under a lot of personal stress. That's as far as I'll go. So hopefully we'll get that material. I don't know if we'll be able to get it down in time temperature wise, but If not this year, certainly beginning of next. Cheryl and I are up also. Well, Cheryl's been in contact with the company, it's Dynex, I believe, and with their rep. So he's going to come and talk to us about how to patch up the cracks at Stanton as well. One of the other action items was the fence issue. I don't know if Cheryl, we've had a chance to talk to your
Well-
guys about that.
I mean, when Fred and I met with the contractor over at Armstrong, we're gonna have to remove, well, all that fencing's coming out. So Fred, I was thinking, could we use those bottom rails on the good fence and put them at Stanton?
I
for
would
those
think so. I would
three
think
per-
so.
They should be interchangeable. I've done some fence work like that in my past.
Yeah, instead of me trying to find the funding or use up any of our funding.
Yeah, no, I think that's fine.
Yeah, you
So-
might just need to get the end caps to tie them in, but the metal itself should be fine.
Yeah, so,
It might be rusted out, and screws might need to be replaced or something like that, but you'd probably be able to use quite a bit of that.
yeah, and then my crew could probably do that work rather than hiring. Fence contractors are actually pretty tough to get to call you back. I'll just be upfront. And that's kind of a patch job. It's not they want like brand
Right.
new work times. They're not really interested
Yeah,
with,
it's easy to install brand new.
yeah,
Yeah.
not going to come out to repair.
Also easy to charge you for it too.
This is true. Okay, so that's what I was thinking for the fence. The thermometer I had, I brought I don't know how good you guys can see this. I should probably, well, this is the updated draft from the company. So he just made up to 1 million now on it. Where before it stopped at 400,000. He cannot modify our current banner, so I'd have to purchase a new one. I think it was $150. But I don't know. Do you guys want me to do this?
I think it
No.
looks like we've made no progress.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
looks the same. It looks too much the same.
He didn't color it into the 400. He's supposed to color the red to 450,000. He should have colored the red up to like here.
Why can't we use the old banner?
He said to patch it because it only goes to 400,000 and we met that goal. And you guys wanted to go for phase 2, which is the parking lot, the LED lights. So I think you guys, that was your suggestion, right? To have it go up higher.
Wait, I thought to go up higher because we're probably going to need more money in general to get the courts done. Not knowing what the new
Yeah.
bid, not knowing what the new bid is going to be. I mean, I guess I would think about waiting till we know.
All right.
So
that's
we have a banner now that only goes to 400.
correct. So this one goes,
Yeah.
and I was gonna tell you guys, no, I didn't want to do this. But we did get one lady who drove by and put $5,000 on her credit card because she saw the banner. And
Wow.
once I remembered that, I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? And
That's-
maybe
That's
Someone
That's the only lady who did the 5,000, right?
correct.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if there was another one I didn't know about.
If someone drove by and gave me $100, I wouldn't be saying this, but because someone did that. She did
Well-
say she saw it and heard around town, but she drove by that banner and it reminded her, and on her cell phone, she put a $5,000 on her credit card to us. So,
Can we make it for less? Like, what if we make, I mean, our fundraising is so slow. I'm just wondering, can we make it for 600? So it looks like we're almost there. And
to encourage people.
yeah,
Absolutely.
we're almost there or something at the bottom or whatever. And
We
If
should have
by
a
s-
number from the contractor on Friday, right? Or by
Right.
the end of the week, right?
Right.
So if we wait to that and then kind of figure what they're gonna charge us and then maybe just hit it up for a little bit more than that, so
That's
we can
that's the thing to
probably
do, I
work on
think,
some of
Rob.
that extra stuff.
Absolutely.
yeah, I think we gotta look like we're making progress and good progress.
Okay,
But there's
Yeah,
no
right.
doubt we're probably gonna need $1 million to get the parking lot and the lights and all that other stuff, but it's like, we can always change the sign again, yeah?
Or we can say
$100 $100,
we've got the
150.
courts now this is for the,
Yeah, yep,
this is for the lights.
Yeah.
So we've done such a good job. We've got that much.
If, Fred, who was the contact with Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods with the tribes? Was that Chris Portalance doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I can't remember where his deal, he's with Mohegan, I think.
All right.
So
They're now getting legalized betting
Sports betting.
at the casino, sports betting. And I think it's DraftKings. I'm
right,
trying to remember what the other one was.
FanDuel.
That's right, FanDuel. So there's going to be money pouring into these casinos for advertising from these sports betting places. What if we went back to the casinos and said, we've just about attained our goal, but we'd be looking for a donation for paving the parking lot and getting the lights. And what if we said, we could put up a sign, lighting donated by Mohegan Sun, or parking lot donated by Mashantucket Pequot Tribe, or by FanDuel, or by one of the other sports betting companies. It's a shot in the dark, but if we go back to them and we're almost there, I can see where they don't want to donate $400,000 or $500,000 to the tennis courts. But if it's a matter of $25,000, $50,000 for them to get some free publicity, it might be worth a shot.
I
So
don't
we'd need money. We need to know how much the lights would cost and or the parking lot so we can offer that to them.
Yeah,
I believe the bid from Classic Turf is going to be in some separate pieces that would encompass that. Now, whether or not we
Okay.
have to use them for the parking lot and use them for the lights, I'm not sure. I would dump that back in Cheryl's lap because she's got better handle on that than I do for sure. But we might at least have a ballpark figure to go with from them. That
Do
is,
we,
did ask them to do that, right, Cheryl?
yeah, yes, we asked him to get us some quotes on the other items too. So we should get those in Friday too.
does anybody have a contact with a tribe? I mean, personal is always better.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. If we,
Well, I know I don't.
I might have one for both, but I'm just not sure how solid they are, but I can try.
It's better than doing it in the dark.
I can talk to Chris Portalance too. Because I recall him just not being able to get someone to answer him back or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, he knows one of the Malurbas who's a tribal member.
Yeah,
So
it definitely Mohegan then.
I could ask the guy who runs Mohegan Sun Golf Club. Maybe he can give me a name.
I happen to have wrestled and graduated with Ray Pino, who is actually in charge of everything.
Certainly is.
But again, I'm not sure, because the last time I went to him for something else, we were trying to get the wrestling tournament to be at a different venue than where we currently go. And, the state tournament, and he just gave me to one of his underlings and we worked that way. But yeah, I don't know, it's worth a shot. But also one of our board of trustees members works for Mashantucket as well. So I might be able.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So again, like I said, I have contacts, but I'm not sure how far they'll get me, but
so
doesn't
it
hurt to
just
ask.
seems that people want to be part of a winning formula, not where we were
Oh.
starting from with no money and was looking pretty dire. And next thing you know, we're doing pretty well. And now all of a sudden it looks like the project is going to go through and,
Mhm.
Winners want to be with winners. So
Mhm.
it might be worth a shot.
Yeah, we're a long ways further in the last month and a half than we've been in the last 2 years,
Correct.
for sure. So
In that same vein, we were talking about doing an email blast, I think.
Mhm.
Cheryl, I'm not sure, did that go out?
No,
There
I
was a
need
chance
help.
that-
I need help with that. I'm swamped right now. I didn't get that out.
Okay. I'll take a shot at it and send it over to you. How's that?
Awesome. I love it.
Okay.
And what are we gonna say that, this is how far we've come and now we're looking at lights and parking lots and so if you
Home
want to
stretch,
plan,
well, yes, we kind of need the number first too, I guess, but
Absolutely.
they let them know where we're at and how much we got left for phase one and then, maybe start to allude to phase two.
have we called them phase 1 and 2? That's a good idea. So we can say we've completed
Yeah.
phase 1 of fundraising and now we're going into 2. I think that sounds really catchy.
Yeah, I proposed it
Also
that way
denotes progress.
to
Right,
the manager. I put in phase 1, phase 2 is the lights, phase 2 was the parking lot, phase 3 was the lights. That's how I've kind of always broken it up at my conversations.
yeah.
All right,
So
and then,
maybe,
oh.
maybe that can go in the blast, depending on the monies. We've completed phase 1 and we're heading into 2.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, except that to me, the main idea behind that email blast was to make sure that if we didn't have the funds that we needed as yet, because we thought that the funds were, the cost was going to be more,
Right,
that's why we're sending the email blast that we've partially completed phase 1, so to speak, and now we really need that final push to get the courts. That to me would be the real reason for the email blast. I know what you guys
And if
think,
you
but
get numbers for, for that and the lights in the parking lot, sometime this week, if you could just get that to me so that when I reach out to Foxwoods and Mohegan, I have something to, talk to them about. I'm sure they're gonna want to know how much are we looking at,
absolutely. When I
if
get
they're
that,
interested. If not, they'll just, hang up the phone and
exactly. Give
Say
me,
goodbye.
gotta have a number.
Yeah.
So Cheryl, when you get that bid, just let me know, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
can you send it out to all of us maybe? So when we talk, we know what,
Sure. Okay, and then also with new action, I've been asked to the second phase of the ARPA, American Rescue Plan funding. I've been asked by the city manager to put in any proposal by October 27th, I believe, to request the next 13 million coming to Norwich, if I'd be interested in having it for any would you like me, guys, to submit something for the tennis again, or how are you feeling?
sure.
Well, based on the fact that this committee has only raised on its own $14,000, and you want to put in put in a parking lot and new lighting, I think the answer to that question is a resounding yes.
Because the parking lot also serves the basketball court and
Yeah.
the Dickerman Field, the Pina Field, the Kelly Field. serves everything.
right. So
The
that's not just tennis.
The target parking lot's about at the top of my list anyway, so I think, yes, that one. The lights I haven't put on, you know what I mean, yet, but I can.
But I mean, that way it's not giving more to tennis, it's giving a parking lot to all the other sports.
Correct. Yeah. How long has that parking lot been dirt?
Always.
As old as dirt is.
That parking lot, well, it's almost as old as Fred.
It's
Oh,
so,
Oh, listen to you. Jeez.
I
was
remember
dirt. It was
it.
dirt in the early 80s when I went to school. I know that much.
Me too.
So
We just had a guy bottom out so bad, he put in an insurance claim because it ruined his new car. So it might be time.
What was he doing? Not that I need to
No.
know.
When you enter in near the basketball court,
Yeah.
the rain
This
washed
is-
out a big
Oh.
dip. So it went from asphalt right to it. And I think it was a lower seated car.
A lower seated car. Okay.
Well, it was, I don't know, my staff
I
said
know
it
it,
was,
I know what you're talking. All
so,
right.
we filled we patched it, but still it washes out pretty quickly up there and I don't know, the guys just can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll make sure I add the parking lot and the lights.
And the parking lot's not for tennis, it's for everybody.
Well, it would be everybody, yeah.
I mean, I think that's important to put into it, so people don't say, look, we already gave such and such to the tennis, why are we giving more to them? We're giving this to all the other.
Yeah.
And there's no handicap officially spots right now with it being, you know, a dirt lot, so I can push that we want ADA
Yep,
compliant parking lot. You
yeah,
know,
that's a good idea.
And that ADA compliant parking lot would serve four venues, you know, tennis.
Yeah.
Spain courts, Dickerman and Depina.
Yeah.
Although it's quite a ways away from Depina. I know you got a handicap spot up at Fontaine already, but makes sense.
yeah, we even get Norwich Tech kids park in it and do donuts.
Hey, great.
Maybe that will stop, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great. They can do donuts in our parking lot, but we can't use their tennis courts.
Yeah.
Mr. Ironic. Okay. Do we have any other items that anybody can think of that need to be addressed?
I have one more question. We have trunk or treat Friday night at the senior center. Would the tennis committee want to put a trunk in and give out candy and promote fundraising or the tennis courts? Think about it. I'm really short on trunks.
Oh,
You mean like swimming trunks? What do you mean trunks? You mean
You
like
open,
Your car.
you open the
Oh,
back
trunk
are
of your
you-
car? Oh my God.
or pumpkins, and then you give out your little tennis flyer and a piece of Snickers bar or something.
This is this coming Friday, because unfortunately I'm not gonna be here.
Oh, sure, Fred.
Well,
actually, I'm out of town too, but I'd be happy to buy the
Martha-
candy or
Martha and
whatever.
I are going away together.
No, it gets like 1,000 people, so it's a
Really?
good, yeah. That's it. Well, if you know anyone else, let them know. We're still looking for trunks.
Who supplies the candy?
The trunkers you
The
bring your own,
candy. Of
and
course.
then if we run out, then we supply the rest if you run out.
Jeez. All right.
All right,
Pretty sure
that's-
I'm not gonna be here, but. Jeez. What happens if it rains?
rain or shine, rain or shine.
Of course.
Do you get a good turnout for that?
Yeah, like 1,000 kids usually come out.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll see. Post-COVID, but. Yeah, all right, that's all I have.
Somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I do. Make a motion to
second.
adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The yeas have it.
Okay.
All right,
Next meeting is November 8th.
correct.
All right, thanks, folks.
All
right,
right,
guys.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.